Hello, wonderful people. Today I have a special little project to share with you, and it's one that I've been kinda a little bit silent about. It was a in the moment build, but it is fully done, and I'm actually currently working on the second version of this already, but it is fully randomly generated dungeons in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Now, Uh, currently, this is all the commands. As you see, there is quite a lot, so I won't be going too in depth on how each one works. But if you do want to check out this map, it is actually on a realm that I play on. This was for uh a dungeon runner in a realm. It uses the exact same systems, but there will be a little bit more. I'll get into that in a second. But let me just show you real quick on it all working. So to start it, you just press this one button and it starts all the redstone. Right now what the maze is doing is it's randomly mapping its paths. It's using a depth and seek algorithm, and as you see we got our stars. This is the difficulty, so it's a 7-star. Now, what the algorithm is a depth and seek algorithm. That means that it will just randomly go into a path until it hits a wall, and then it will backtrack, and then it will keep backtracking until it finds a open place it can spread out again. What that does is it makes it so every part of the maze is automatically able to be brought out. The maze does have a bunch of stuff uh, and features. It has a shop, which you can see with this yellow room, the end goal, the start goal, and all these rooms are the random loot rooms that you'll find around the maze. The maze also has random loot spawning through it. As you can see, if I enter the sewer real quick, we get a little nice timer too. But I'm not going to start the minigame just yet. So you see, going through it, there's not a lot of stuff going on, but there is some trial spawners and other little things around. Now, the custom loot is actually disabled right now. Normally the custom loot is like coins and stuff. Actually I could show you these are the old loot tables, but would have like items around. And we will take a little moment to see the actual one in action. This is just my version of it. Um, but as you see, everything loads in perfectly fine. Once it finds all the rooms, it maps all the rooms. We'll get into that in just a second. I'll tell you exactly how it's working. But as you see, we can go to the shop. Here's Wesley, our shopkeeper. He has ender chest, shops. Of course, none of this is filled in because this was for the realm. This was the prototype for the realm. But I'm going to clear it and let it regenerate real quick, and you can kind of see how everything works, and then I'll show you the systems that are also running in the background. So clearing it is as simple as also just clicking a button. You don't even need to clear this area. Normally it just does it automatically and clones over it. But as you see, if I start the generation again, it'll go again. Now again, this is the depth and search. As you see, it's going random paths, and once it hits a wall, it will backtrack to find more random paths until it backtracks all the way at the start again. Once it's at the start, it will map out the entire place, realizing or figuring out using the blueprint below what rooms need to go where. As you can see, everything is matching the blueprint at the bottom. Once it loads all the rooms, it will be doing something called mapping endpoints. What this does is it's finding all the endpoints in the entire map. As you see, you can see armor stands appearing and disappearing. That's because it's checking all the slots, and like this one, this is an endpoint. So it will leave a armor stand right there. Now what endpoints do is it leads stuff like this where I can load in shops and stuff randomly around the maze. And those shops, of course, need to be on an endpoint because if it was just randomly in the middle, you would have a wall that you can't get through now. So I want to make sure the maze is beatable. That's why shops are only on endpoints. Now, as for the filling loot boxes, if these had loot boxes enabled, which are, these rooms would have markers. it would clone random values of these on top of it and then put it in the maze. Now let's get into it. So upon entering the maze, you'll get a countdown of 10 seconds. Leaving the maze will reset that countdown back to 0. That way you and your friends can all run the maze together. It is actually instructed or encouraged to run the maze with more people depending on how hard it is. Once the game starts, it will close the door and it will get a prompt that says collect the artifact. Now, players will have to make it through this entire maze, battling through mobs, spawners, and anything that it throws at them. And their whole goal is to get to the artifact. Now, this artifact is right easy, it's right here. But of course, they can also experience the rest of the maze to get loot and other stuff that spawns in it. Now, collecting the artifact. Right now, the artifact is just a placeholder because this is a stripped down version of the one in the realm, but normally the artifact has a better look, and we'll look at that in just a second. But upon collecting the artifact, the game will go into its collapse mode, which will give players 120 seconds to get out of the maze before they die. Now, you saw at the very start, when I entered the maze, it closed the grate behind me. When I pick this up, it will open the grate for players to be able to leave. So I'll show that right now. As you see, you feel something shift within the maze. There's also music that is going on, so let me turn on music real quick. And right when the music hits the bass drop, you'll see the cave-in timer. We'll see that in just a second. As you see now, I have 100 seconds to escape through the maze before the cave-in. As you see, we're just going to fly out. The grate is open, and once I leave, it will say I escaped the sewer. The game will slowly end, and soon the maze will be over, and it will lock down again for the next generation. There we go. It locks it. It's killing. It's doing a bunch of other systems in the background that you do not see. But now the maze is waiting for all the systems to reset, and then it will be right back to normal, as you just saw. Now, in the realm, it also has a spectate feature, so you can see your friends run through the maze if you don't want to risk it, because running through the maze, you are putting on the line 25% of your items. Every item has the possibility of getting deleted, and that's because at the end, the maze picks up all the items and chucks them here for them to be sorted, except for the artifacts, of course. Artifacts do not get sorted, but as you see, if I threw a stone brick, it will get teleported to one or the other. As you see, that was in a plus. That was also a plus. Let's see if I can get a minus. Well, I have bad luck, or good luck, I guess you could say. But what those are doing is it's getting TP'd up here into the spawn room where where people can collect their stuff. Now, the systems I will explain a little bit, but I kind of want to show you the true power of this dungeon in its full glory. So let me get onto the realm and I'll show you in just a second. Alright, now that I'm on the maze, I rode over to the dungeon using Herbert, my very trustful horse. And we are just gonna go in the maze. Through the maze, you enter a few sewers, and it'll teleport you to the maze area. Let me put my stuff in my chest that I do not want to lose. And this is the maze of all of its glory. This is Stormhaven. The realm link should be in the description if you guys want to play this for yourself. But we're going to just generate a maze and see what happens. So we're running a level 2, which isn't too bad as long as I stay on the track. Shouldn't be too hard. Of course, there will be more little systems that you'll see as I need to make this more for realms, but it's generating rooms and all that. There's an info book for all the things that you might need because, again, we are stealing artifacts. Artifacts sell for a lot of money, guys. They sell for so much money. This is a very good money-making way. You can also read up all of the change logs that I have put while making this maze. At the very start, you can see a few things different. We have the level over there, we have the spectating room over here, and we have all the people's loot that they do not want to grab, along with shulkers and stuff. And most importantly, you can spend 1,000 to re-roll the maze. Now I'm gonna just be running in with my actual armor. It's a level 2. I shouldn't die, but I am a major skill issue, so we will see. In fact, if I have a totem in here, I would have taken it, but I don't. So it's mapping endpoints. It's going to be filling loot boxes in a second, which is the laggiest one. So right now it's filling loot boxes, starting quantum lag drives. And dungeon lag has passed and the gray has opened. So let's go into it and show you all of its glory. Upon entering, you can already see it's a little more dimly lit, and you'll see a lot more things happen. We're just going to wait for the 3 seconds to pass. It will lock me in, and one thing you'll notice is I see my name along with everyone else, and you'll see the collect the artifact with a timer. This is the speedrun timer, because you can do scores. As you see, there's cauldrons, barrels, random loot galore for people to come in here, loot for money, whatever they want to do. Now, I personally find taking the maze slow and steadily going through it is the best strategy, but everyone has their own strategy. But of course, I'm here for the loot. Now, upon dying in the maze, the game will automatically end itself. So make sure that you know, if you're going in, you have the loot that you need, or the gear that you need to make it through the entire maze. Because you can get swarmed pretty hard, and it's not fun in the end. Now these poison bogs are giving me some trouble. Nothing I can't handle though. Alright, we're gonna see what we can do here. We have some food that we can eat. I will take that. Gotta keep my hunger up, of course. Now there is apples and stuff, and a bunch of other loot that you can use to craft stuff on the dungeon. Very useful if you guys need, you know, a little quick pick-me-up. There's an apple. Now you might be wondering why there's apples. It's because there is crafting tables at the shop if you guys go all the way that far. But we're not going to do that today because it's a little far. You can see all the random loot though spawning around. So we're just going to make this a little quick dungeon speed run. Now I am running it solo. It is a 2-star, so solo isn't that bad, but it can be a little scary. Here's one of those light holes to the top too. That's always fun. That seems like a lot of death. I'm not gonna go that way. We're gonna go this way. See if the artifact's right around here. It's not. That's an end cap. You hear some blazes. They're always a little scary. Alright. So I guess I am going through this wall, which is my least favorite because these are the Vindicators, I'm pretty sure. It is the Vindicators. These guys are always scary. You do not want to get in between them. I've seen a lot of runs end because of these guys. Oh god, I'm at 1 heart actually. Let me backtrack real quick. Drink a little regen potion. Get into the water where they slow down. Avoid the occasional blaze. The dungeon is no stranger to wanting to kill you. Now I'm wondering if the artifact's right here. If it is, I'm just gonna run up and take it. There it is. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go, guys. And see at the bottom, it still says my name and everything. Now, once I escape, you'll see it will say run valid. Difficulty 24. That was the difficulty of the sewer. Was 24. It goes up to 100. Final time 10 minutes 3 seconds. One thing I do want to say is that when you're playing with other people, you have to do it flawlessly, because if one of you dies, then you will not get your valid time. You guys all have to get out. But as the game's ending, you can see that now all the loot, again, 25% of this loot that was on the ground gets destroyed, but we get a pretty good haul. We're just gonna put everything that I don't need in here and let some other people get. I will keep that gold though. That gold is pretty nice. So I think that's everything I need. But that was the dungeon. Now the game ends, it restarts to the next dungeon, and I got an ancient bone that I can sell. So yeah, make sure if you guys are interested in a dungeon runner like this, be sure to join the realm. Discord realm link will be in the description. If you want to check out or download some of my maps, it will also be in my Discord, which will be in the description. This map was made to be copy and pastable in your guys' own worlds, but that was a little bit broken. So as of right now, this world is not for download. However, Dungeon V2, once I finish it, it will be up for download. So be sure to tune in for that, and I'll see you guys all next time.